and we'll be seeing we'll be seeing more of him next month as he has locked the 2 seed in, with Packy having to take this month off. And as we always say, real life first before Dr. Mario.
Sure.
But Frank has locked up that 2 seed. Leviticus with a tournament victory could fight Packy for that 3 seed, but those top 5 seeds pretty much locked in. We'll see what happens here. We've got our we've got our readies from both players.
Look at Ook vibing.
Ook's vibing hard.
I love it. Like the fancy player color wheel you got going on the player names too. Nice, nice.
Give it a little November theme,
Yeah, I like it.
All right, these players are off here. Frank started about 8 seconds late. Now, Chris, Frank is just savagely quick.
Yeah, he hyper taps, which it was always asked. Oh, do Dr. Mario players hyper tap? And there's a little bit of an advantage, but now that you see Frank play, if we're really to take this game seriously, get to the next level, hyper tapping or maybe even rolling, for Christ's sake, I'm talking about rolling for Dr. Mario players, but that might be the strat to get to the next level, because that lateral motion does take time to move left and right, and that adds up over the course of a match. So will anybody else take it up? I don't know, but it does work for Frank, and he might take that to a title this year.
He may very well here, but as it stands, Ook with a slight virus disparity, only off by 2, keeping this competitive for Frank, as Ook's starting to address that lower right corner. Ook is a bit hung up columns 2 and 3. He's going to have to depend on low drop time dependency as he drill drops into column 3. 6 viruses to go for both players. Frank's stuck on both edges, Chris.
Yeah, that's a bad situation for Frank on the right, so Ook might get this one, but he's not a little clustered up in the middle left. This is kind of a sludgy race here to the end at level 6.
Both these players trying to win ugly, as they say.
Yeah, a win's a win, and Ook's gonna be there first with the 140.
Ook.
Although with the timer here,
it's just a
Frank
2
is going to get 138, yeah, so he is slightly ahead, technically.
Slightly ahead. Looking at these boards, Ooks might have some spiring issues, especially in column 1. Meanwhile, Frank's 7, a lot of viruses up on top. That will be helpful as it will lower potential drop time. But Frank making a misdrop.
Misflip.
And another big misflip. Looks like he might have just been trying to secure that clear of that red in column 7. Meanwhile, Ook still vibing, still clearing. He's going to get a big L here.
Oh, look at that. Swaggy L there with the headbang.
If I'm Ook, I know who I'm up against. I know this is not going to be a free pass. This is a big challenge for me, so I'm really trying to just play as absolutely best as I can. And as it stands, the virus count, Ook with a slight lead.
Yep. And Frank getting back into it. It's about down 3, although with the time difference, it's a virtual tie. But it's not just the hyper tapping, it's also, like figuring out what your drop times are going to be and keeping those to an absolute minimum. And you look at Frank here go, like everything is just so perfectly efficient. He really is a machine. I mean, yes, we heard him talk, but I will still make that machine joke as long as his avatar on the screen is just a NES controller.
Frank out at about a 307, so now firmly in the lead here is Ook is really hung up in that lower left corner.
2 more reds will do it.
And out at a 330 is Ook.
Yeah, this is a subpar Frank run. This is the chance for Ook to take one here, even though he's slightly behind. Like a great time is that sub 7, and I don't know if Frank is on him. I don't think Frank might not get it. He might make it up, but he's really not on that pace, or he's right on the edge of that pace.
Ook's PB in this level block is 6 minutes and 52 seconds.
That might be enough.
And yeah, meanwhile, Frank averages a 635, so you're going to need to do better than your PB needs to be better than your opponent's average, which is a bit intimidating. But the way we're seeing Ook playing right now, hanging in there, he's got a bit of an issue though over in column 7 and 8 with that yellow red.
And the old and you talk about how dangerous Frank is. You just see how he's obliterated this level 8.
Huge clear for Ook. He just cleared out a bunch of garbage and managed to take a virus out. Like a big column of 8 virus or pill fragments gone off the board. He is down by double digits as Frank has cruised through this level 8.
Frank's sub 5 through 8 is tremendous.
437.
So a subpar round and turn it into a great round. But Ook's not. I mean, he's right on the verge of a 5. Probably not going to quite get there, but he's really close.
Ook just needs that last yellow. He's going to have to play out of his mind, and now he's getting this double red. The good news is he knows a yellow's coming. Yellow-red will always follow a sequence of double reds, so he is out at about a 5-10 and is down by about a dozen viruses going into the final level.
Lightning bolt here for Frank. That would have been a sub 5 had that red burst not happened on Ook's side. You just hate to see it. Frank doesn't need additional advantages.
And we're starting to see Ook attack here. Ook's really
another misdrop, no, this isn't. That was a misdrop on Frank's board.
That was an honest to God misdrop, and there's a lightning bolt for our Mario fans.
He is human.
And Ook is having some issues here. Looks like he made a couple of consecutive misdrops, and now he seems a bit flustered by it. The double yellow's huge. I would have laid that flat across 2 and 3. Try to get that garbage cleared.
It's real. I mean, don't listen to commentators because that just makes things worse. But that is the one solution you're always looking for with a misdrop like that type, when you can take it out horizontally and have the rest of it drop. But we'll see how he handles it from here, but I think Frank is going to get that sub 7 after all. Takes the red here instead of, okay, yep, perfectly. With a 621, Frank takes round 1.
Frank does get that first W, which means it's just going to be a little bit more difficult for Ook here, but he's still got a lot of tournament left, or a lot of match left rather. But game 1 to Frank.
And that beat his average again, didn't it?
It is a better than average time, average of 6:35. So
you have a horrendous level 6 and okay level 7, and you still manage to beat your average. That's the machine. And he has typos in chat. Again, he's trying to fool us that he's human. That's what he's doing. I'm just kidding. These are all jokes. Frank is amazing.
FC, of course, standing for Famicom Cyborg.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we've got readies from both players, so let's get right into it.
And you know why he played in his podcast? He said he plays this game because he just wanted to find speedrun records that weren't well known. So he picked Dr. Mario, and here we are. What a weird serendipitous event. We'll take it. We're glad to have him.
And keep in mind, Frank, while he has had game losses, has not dropped a match. He is 12-0 on the year. And our regular elite players, the dimwits, the packies, they can't even say that they've had an undefeated season. So mind, Frank's played a little less than everybody else, but he is definitely in the running here for that December championship. Ook is just looking to try to get in there. And remember, just because you may not have the championship points, if you have a good enough clear rate, you can see through to the championship.
Speaking of the upcoming silver bracket, I don't know if you formally announced it, but we will be having our first silver bracket in the month of December. Will this be a qualifying?
Nope.
Will it be a qualifying event, or will it be for people who didn't finish in the top 16 in general?
It will be for players 17 through 24 ranked. So, and if any players outside of that do want to participate who are active, who've played in at least 3 events, they're welcome to do that. But that our 3 events is our minimum. But as it stands right now, as Frank out of 7 or 6 at about a minute 9, you would be seeing Dave Smith says Don Venier, Flubs, Ook, the Dave, myself, Betty B, and Tetra all would be in that silver bracket. And just to explain that a little bit as we continue going here, as we see a
Frank with
misdrop
another misdrop.
by Frank. We've added the silver bracket because there's too many of you, and that's a good problem to have. So we've added a silver bracket so you can get some more Dr. Mario goodness, and so players who have not made the brackets consistently, or at least the top 16 brackets, still have a chance to play competitively.
And you get a championship point for winning that silver bracket, so there is some motivation there to do well in that, not just blow it off as
look at
the
this
team.
Look at this combo by Frank. Great combo. He's down to 6 viruses. Ook's in at about a 211 on the level 7, so very, very much behind the 8 ball.
He might get lapped on level 7, and that's amazing. Wow, what a drop cross, literal drop into a cross. I mean, there was a little bit of earlier, even though he had a tremendous move, Frank did have another human moment where he couldn't quite spin that piece in, and he plays at medium, so that is the easier speed to handle those spins. So I mean, if he's going to watch the game tape and need to critique himself, that's like, you got to do something, it's.
Frank really just chomping down. The thing that I really like about Frank is you see his vision across the board, but took too long there on that double yellow. So he's going to have to whittle that down. Looks like he might be trying to play for something in column 4. Looks like he got it. But really, that hesitation, not something you want to see particularly consistently, as it will bog you down. But 15 viruses to go here for Frank, and you just see him very casually slide.
When you when you drop it and then you slide it at the very last second, that is amazing precision. That's a lot of practice. There's no other way to do that. And does he play on emulator? Did we find that out? I don't remember.
I believe he is, because that's how we're getting those controller inputs.
Yeah.
And look at this.
I mean, wow.
Ook's into level 8 at 357, but at 350, under 4 minutes, Chris. Frank is into level 9.
Wow. And it's 11 a.m. Like, this is peak weekend relaxation time for Frank, so. But, man, he is on a mission.
He is firmly in the lead right now over OokTheLibrarian, who will be making his commentary debut in our next match, which is Dave Smith Says versus Sarah Sparkle. $20 viruses to go here for Frank. If you're wondering, by the way, what is the best time in this level block? It's 5:31 by Packy. Which Frank is looking to blow out of the water right now.
Unless you get like red bursted, which we've seen that happen already in this match.
There's a double red. I was about to say that's about to be your fault.
Well, but I'm not that I'm Team Packy. I mean, if you're Packy, that's what you're hoping for.
Packy currently shouting all the way out from Dallas. Don't do it. Don't do it. But it's looking very much like with one blue, we're about to have a new record at a 5:23. Beating the record by 8 seconds. Frank locks this in, and Ook is... There's nothing you can do when it's a sub 5.5 minute run. Unbelievable.
A 5:23 is like an okay time out of level 8.
Yes.
My God.
Wow. So Frank locks down a quick victory here over OokTheLibrarian.
Frank really wanted to be out of the booth. That's the only explanation. So I'm going to be leaving for the evening. I will.
You're just going to come in and just play your game?
Oh, I'm going to be in the commentary booth next too, or?
No, I'm just giving you crap.
Okay. GG's Frank's on Ook screen. That's very nice.
Yeah.
I will. One thing I will promote, I should say, is our theme song. If you've noticed, Influx uses it on his podcast. We commissioned a theme song from chiptune artist Elazid. So if you like what you hear, go to bandcamp.com/Elazid. I'll bring up the link here in a minute, put it in chat. But really cool stuff. He was very cool with it, and I love it. So I hope we don't get sick of it. We're gonna play it so much, but we're official now. We got a theme song.
Well, all right, folks. We're going to be back here in just a second for our main event of our Friday evening. It's two stalwarts of the Dr. Mario community, Sarah Sparkle, Dave Smith Says, coming at you on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere, folks.